You guys can see the screen now. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Hi.
sir.
Yes. So welcome back. So I think everyone has joined it. Just a second, chat. 9 people, 9 participants. Okay, yes, we can start. So I was not able to send the recording in the morning because unfortunately because of some technical issue, the recording was not made yesterday. So I took out like half an hour, 45 minutes and made the whole recording again. So most probably I'll share it to you tomorrow only with the recording of the screen.
Okay.
And I think now everyone is well versed with Binance, and everyone has a basic idea how the Binance app works on the mobile. Yes.
Yeah.
Further, there is one more app which is very widely used on the mobile, that is CMA. You can download it from the Play Store or the Apple Store. Okay. So App Store, CMA. That is, it is like Coin Market Cap only, and it gives you all the information that Coin Market Cap will give you. I'm not particularly sure whether it's an app of Coin Market Cap, but it is a very useful app. Okay.
Which app did you say? You said
CMA. CMA. It's
Okay.
also written on the screen. CMA apps here. Okay.
Okay.
This is one particular app. It's called CMA, and you can check that out also. Okay. So today we'll be talking about technical analysis, analyzing coins, and I will be making a transfer in front of you. I'll be talking about a little bit about NFT, but actually I wanted to show you how I am transferring money to another wallet because I had to do it. So I thought I'll do it in the class itself so that you guys can see it. Okay.
I just transferred BNB from Binance to Trust Wallet, and just converted that one from BNB to Chain.
Okay, you converted BNB to Chain. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think now you can see the screen of the Binance app, which is supported on the computer. Can you see the burger coin here?
Yeah.
Yes, everyone can see it. Okay, so
Yes.
this is the Binance app, which is available there on the Windows platform and the Mac platform. Okay, so this is the Binance app which is available there. So also majorly what technical analysis is, that it is based on observations, and whatever observations that people come across, on the basis of the observations people place their trades. Okay, so technical analysis means reading the charts and analyzing whether the coin will go up or go down, and it works splendidly in the this crypto market. It is told that in the currency markets like US dollar and Australian dollar and GBP pound, in the currency markets, technical analysis doesn't really work, but in crypto market it works like it's spot on. Majorly it is spot on. So the first thing that we'll try to understand here is that whenever we start investing in coins, the first thing we need to see is support and resistance. So support and resistances are levels from where the coin turns around. So here, can you just tell me which is the level from which the coin has turned around? Can you write it down in the chat? Turned around and gone up. I think it is very clear and very easily you can find out. Yes, that's correct. So 12.52 is the level from which it has corrected, and others, can I see your answers also? $14, 12.5. Agam, why do you say 14?
Because I see this was at inception, it was already at the stabilized value near 12.5. So that's why I said that.
Okay, so inception, from where can you see the inception? I'm just talking about the chart right in front of your screen here. And
Okay. By inception, I meant the starting of the chart here.
Starting, no, that is not the level. So that is not the level. The level from where it has turned around is the support level. So all those levels from which the coin is turning around and going up, that means a lot of buying is coming in at that level. A coin will only start going up when people are willing to pay higher and higher for the same coin. For example, if a coin is falling down, let's say here the coin has been going down continuously till 12. At 12.52, people thought that the stock or that the coin is now undervalued, and then they started jumping in. So yesterday we talked about market trades. Okay, market trades show you all the trades that are happening at the current moment. So after this moment of 12.52, all the trades were happening which were taking the coin up and up. So after 12.52 was the lowest point, and after that it kept on going up to 13, 14, 15, 16, etc. Okay, 13, 14, 15, 16, etc.
Okay.
So this is how these levels are decided that this is the support level. Similarly, we have resistances and resistance levels. So here the resistance is at 1980. This is a very simple chart. It is very explicit that you can easily see from where the coin has fallen down massively. That is 1980. That is this level. I think now this level, you can see the blue line.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the level from where the coin has fallen down, and this was the support level. So all this trend lines that I'm making, the lines that I'm making are called trend lines, and these lines can only be made on the Binance application on the computer and not on the mobile phone. Okay, I personally, I don't use these lines because I don't need to, and I'm just able to see all the coins and analyze it right away. But for the starting, you can actually use all these lines to find out support and resistance levels. So this was the chart when this was a 15-minute chart. Now I have increased the span and increased the time frame of this coin. Okay, just a second, please. Yeah, so I've increased the time span here, and now you can see now the resistance is at 29. So that was the peak at which the coin went, and from there, from 29, it has been falling down and coming down. Okay, this was the peak from where the coin has been falling down in a longer period of time. But if we consider a shorter period of time, we can simply see that this coin, just a second, can you see this area? These two areas represent that the coin has again fallen down from the same level. That was the resistance. Okay, so anyone who had bought the coin around 12, 13 or anything around this area, so I'll just increase the chart size here. So anyone who had bought the coin around this area, he could have placed a bet simply here around this level of around the level is around $18 or $19 and put a sell order. Like, how could have he put a sell order? By using a limit order on the app or maybe here only. Okay, he would have placed a limit order to sell the coin at $19, and the coin would have been automatically sold when the coin would have reached $19. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So Sarthak, we will come on MA and all that later on. So clearly talking about support and resistance here, so you can clearly see, so these play a massive role, and you can see how clearly they work and how clearly they tell you that what is going to happen next. It's not always sure.
But Siddhant, while on the left that you have highlighted the portion that you're saying that,
yes,
when it started to go down, it's continued to go down and down and down and down and down. I mean, then at some point it did go back up.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, if you're put at the point, somewhere in the middle here,
here,
expecting that it'll go up,
here,
but you somewhere here,
yes.
But you're continuing to see the fall and further. So
yes.
Where's the resistance then?
Yes. So here, let's say you jump in, you see the resistance at this level. Okay, you see the resistance at this level, that the support at this level, and you see that the coin fell till this level around 1660 or 1680, and after that it started rising up. It faced 3 resistances here and it started going down also. Around this level, now I'm making another chart here. Around this level, you purchase the coin. Okay. Now you know that it took a lot of support at this level, and after that, it even fell further. Okay. You just sell your coin at a small loss and get out of the coin. You don't do anything else. You, let's say, bought it at 1648 or 1649 or 1660, and then you simply sell it at 16 or 6 below the line, below the resistance, sorry, support. You simply sell it at here, sell it at this price and get out of the market. So this is a very small strategy how you can start trading by analyzing coins on technical analysis, through technical analysis, using supports and resistances. And when you have to sell it after this level, you know that it has been falling down, and you won't really get to know that. So if you see here at this level also, can you see I've increased the chart size. At this level also, you could have seen that it was facing a support, and maybe you could have placed your bets to purchase the coin here. But eventually what it did was it took support at this level and it started going up. Okay. So you need to yeah.
Siddhant, after this, can you also run it for XRP? Because right now XRP seems like, going through a lot of changes. I think that will be a very relevant thing to analyze right now.
No problem. I can analyze other coins also. So just talking about this coin, I hope the concept of support and resistance is clear, because supports are those levels from which the coin is rising. Coin उस level से बढ़ जाता है और increase करने लग जाता है, क्योंकि buying आ जाती है. People start thinking that the coin and the price of the coin is now undervalued, and they start jumping in, or they start feeling that now it has fallen down quite a bit and it start increasing, so they jump into it. Okay. On the other hand, resistances are those levels at which people start feeling that the coin is now way too high and we should book profits and get out. Because obviously, if someone has purchased the coin below at a lower level, they will definitely book profits at a high level and get out of the coin. Okay. So this is the Burger coin, Burger to USDT. And if you want to change your coins here, you can simply change it from this area. And let's say I put in XRP, sorry, XRP against USDT. Okay. So this is the chart of XRP, and let me increase the size of the chart here. So here you can see that this chart is at a 15-minute candle. Okay. We will just be talking about candles, and I'll explain you what the meaning is. So simply you can understand, green candle means that the price has gone up, and the red candle means the price has gone down. Okay. Other than that, we can change the candles and the duration. So these candles are for 15 minutes. So each interval here, each candle represents 15 minutes of movement. Okay. If I change to 1 day, then we can see what movement XRP has been showing on a daily basis in 24 hours, whether it has been going up or going down. It is represented in the forms of candles. Okay. Coming down to support and resistance, let's check out the support here. So if you want to put on trend lines, you can click on the arrow button here on the bottom left side and go on to trend lines and click horizontal line. Okay. So these are the levels from which it has bounced back again and again. That is the level of approximately 1.31. So this is the level. This is the level, red candle, then again a green candle, and again a red candle. So this is telling us that 4 times it has jumped back again and again from this level. So you can clearly see how nicely it is taking support at this level, and around 1.32 or 35, you can easily get into this coin and jump into this coin and wait for it to go up and then sell it off later on. Okay. Any doubts?
No, got it.
Others?
No.
Is it clear?
This was clear. Yeah,
Yes, sir, clear.
Clear? Okay. So moving on to the slide here. So moving on to the slide here, we can see technical analysis, and we can start understanding technical analysis and support resistances. I've given you a brief about it. Now talking about candlesticks. So what a candle represents is mentioned here. So when a candle is made, it will tell you the high, the peak of the candle, or it is also called the shadow. It will tell you that how high the coin has gone. So when you hover onto the coin, you will be able to see the details of how high the coin has gone in that particular interval. Okay, so the candles can be made from let's say 30 seconds to 1 year also. You can make a 1 year candle also. So 1 year candle will tell you that how high the price has gone in the whole year, how low the price has gone, and at what price did it close on 31st December, 31st December, 12 p.m. And or 11:59 p.m. and what price it opened up on 1st of January. Okay, so this is how you make candles and how you analyze candles, what a candle represents, the high movement, the low movements. So simply we can understand here, if the candle has closed at a lower level. Okay, if the candle has closed at a lower level like this from the open, it will be a red candle. That means the coin has fallen down, or the price of the coin has fallen down from the previous candle. And if the price has gone up, it will simply tell you that the price of the coin has gone up if the close is above the open level. Okay, clear? Any doubts?
No, I'm clear.
So simply when a close is at the lower side, or let's say the close is around or near the low of the candle, we can suggest a negative or a bearish movement in that particular candle, and that suggests us that the candle or the next candle that can be made, it will take the price even lower. Okay, if the price of the candle, if the price of the coin has been going up and the close of the candle is on a higher side, then we can simply understand that the coin is expected to move further up in the next candle. So here, coming onto the screen, we can see that it was showing us red candles, and continuously it was giving us in this area, it was giving us a feel that now the coin will continuously keep on falling, and it did fall continuously. And in case of green candles, we can see that we saw a very bullish candle here, and the close was at the peak. I'm talking about this area. If you can see, I'm talking about this area. The close was at the peak. So the price of the coin closed at a very high level. That suggested us now the coin can move up further on. The coin can move up and it can give you positive returns in the next candle, which did happen in the next candle here. Okay, in this candle. Similarly, now we saw that in this candle particularly, just a second, in this candle, I can just candle one. Okay, so I mentioned it as candle one. So here you can simply see that this candle one, the closing of the coin was not at the peak. So that suggested that there is some confusion, and the coin will not really keep on trending up and not really keep on going up in the next candle. Okay, and we can see that similar things happened here, and it made a red candle on the very next candle. Okay.
So Siddhant, how did you mark this as number one? How did you mark it?
Simply on the left side, there was text here. I made a box and mentioned 2 or 3, candle 2, and just clicked.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so simply there are various tools here.
And can you, once you have done this study, can you save this also?
Yeah, you can share this. You can share the screen, no problem. If you want, you can export the screen also, or maybe take a screenshot or something. Okay.
Okay.
Hide all the drawings. I can hide. If I want to lock all the drawings, now I cannot make any changes, so I can lock. So these are some tools that you can explore by yourself. It's very simple. So mainly you need to understand, and you can draw trend lines and make arrows, etc. Up arrow, down arrow, etc. etc. Okay. Up arrow, down arrow, whether it'll go up, go down. Okay.
Okay.
So here, moving on. So moving on to the wallet here. So now I'll be just telling you a little bit about various kinds of coins and tokens available here. So in this particular portfolio, I have $1,500. Okay, and the coins which are here are, so I made a loss of $56 yesterday in this particular account. I have Ripple, and I've got Bakery coin here around $600. Okay, so simply what now I'm trying to tell you is that how you can transfer coins. So if you want to transfer coins, simply click on deposit or withdraw. And let's say if you want to withdraw coins, and then you will come, you have to go to crypto here. You can withdraw any coin provided it is supported by the other platform. So let's say you want to transfer coins from Binance to WazirX, but that coin doesn't exist on WazirX. Don't transfer that coin. Okay. So we don't need this. So Bitcoin. So let's say I want to transfer Bitcoin, or let's say I want to transfer XRP only. So I've got XRP here, 500 XRPs I've got here. And if I want to transfer, so I'll have to put the recipient's address. So whichever account I want to transfer, I will have to put that address here. We will do that. I have to transfer some coins to a particular account. I will do that in a while. So here there are two coins here, two chains. Sorry, there are 2-3 networks from which you can transfer. There is. Please make a note of this and write it down. There are 3-4 networks from where you can transfer your coins. Firstly, there is the BTC network. Okay. Secondly, you can see the Binance Chain Network, that is BEP2. So the full form of BEP2 is Binance Exchange Portal. Okay. And here BSC that is written, that is Binance Smart Chain. So Binance has its own blockchain on which we are transferring the coins. Okay. BEP20 is a platform of Binance, and BEP2 is also a Binance chain and a platform of Binance only. Then you have XRP. Total XRP is also another chain from where you can transfer, and there is ERC20, that is a Ethereum blockchain. Okay, so you need to make sure that you cannot go wrong in this. If your chain is not correct, and if your chain doesn't match the recipient's chain, you won't get your money. So this is very important, that your recipient chain and your current chain both are same. So
Siddhant, why don't they then have a format in which, if it is not the same format of the currency, the exchange cannot happen? I mean, it should, the app or the portal should be able to block that in its first place. Why should anybody be losing money? Because it's not good for anybody's business, right?
So that is the whole purpose of decentralized thing, because in case you make a mistake and it is decentralized, it is you cannot afford to make a mistake here. Because all the chains that are coming up, the chains have been made in order to reduce the transaction fees. So BTC has the highest transaction fees. Okay, if you are wanting to transfer, so Kashish, since you all know that Kashish works with me and all, so Kashish, once we wanted to transfer some 10,000 rupees from the Zepay account to Binance platform, and it was charging me around 3,500 rupees. From 10,000, for 10,000 rupees, it was charging me 3,500 rupees. But when I did this from WazirX and transferred it from WazirX to Binance, it was absolutely free. Okay. Plus, the cost on the Binance Smart Chain is very less as compared to what you'll pay on BTC or any other platforms. Okay. So we won't go into the details of that, but there is a possibility, if you want to spend less money in the transaction cost, as in transfer cost, you can delay the transfer rate. So let's say if you want a quick transfer, you can do it using all these chains. But let's say you don't really want to spend a lot of money, and you want to spend only, let's say, a very small amount of money, you can ask for that my transaction can happen within like 24 hours and I don't have a problem, and then your transaction cost will be less. Okay, that is possible on the Ethereum chain. Okay.
So Siddhant, here you're transferring XRP to let's say recipient's XRP address,
Yes.
and then you have to use a transfer network.
Yeah.
So I can see the fee in the Binance Smart Chain or the BNB.
The transaction fee is here. Yeah. XRP fees is here, and here we've got. Okay. Here we've got. Oops. Binance token setup. Okay. So let's say if I'm transferring Binance Smart Chain, I need to make sure that Binance Smart Chain BEP20 is selected on the other platform. So I'll just make a transfer right in front of you. Just give me a second. Before
So
that,
this is doing exactly, so this is Siddhant doing what I was asking, that it is blocking me to be able to make that transfer because that network is not common.
yes,
Is that what's happening?
yeah, that can happen. Yes.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Then the chances of you making a mistake to, using a wrong network will not happen, isn't it?
Yeah, it will not happen. It will just give you a pop-up, but in case you end up doing that, all your money will be lost.
I
Okay.
think that's a responsible thing for Binance to do, because if
Yeah.
it's not allowing you to make a wrong transfer, it is
Yes.
saving you, it's protecting
It
you.
is saving.
And then,
Definitely,
then you're keeping your customer happy. Okay, makes
yes, yes,
sense.
yes. They are obviously they are trying to do this, and they don't want their customers to lose money, and they are running so
True.
many things. Yeah. Okay. So now let's get on the onto the screen. Let me tell you about a little bit about 2-3 things. So make a note of 5 things. Um, just a second. I've told you about DeFi and all that. So are you able to see the screen here?
Yes.
Coin market cap.
No, no, no. That's not visible.
Okay, that's not the screen. Just a second. Coin market cap. So are you able to see the screen here? Coin market cap.
Yes.
Yeah.
So briefly, I am telling you the transaction that I'm doing here is it's going to be excellent, and you are just going to love what I'll do right in front of you, and where I'm trying to invest my money. Maybe you guys can see this, and it is super duper duper exciting. Okay, so uh, we've got categories here. You can see that DeFi is written here. DeFi means all the currencies which are in the decentralized finance space, that they are working in finance space. For example, they are giving you loans in cryptocurrencies, and you can borrow cryptocurrencies from them, and at an interest rate of, let's say, 50% a year or something like that. Or maybe if you have your coins, you can give your coins to them, and they will give you 20% or 30% on a yearly basis on your coins. You will get the capital appreciation or the appreciation of the coins that will happen in the growth of the coin, but you will, along with that, you will get annual returns also. Okay, that is DeFi, all the spaces that are there in decentralized finance. Then, is that clear?
Yeah.
Yep. So then we have, I've already told you about cryptocurrencies, are currencies which are cryptocurrencies. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about crypto tokens. Cryptocurrencies are all those currencies which are working on demand and supply. They have their own blockchain, and they are currencies. They are not backed by any business behind them. That is a cryptocurrency. Crypto tokens are coins which are backed by businesses. Okay. Moving on further, talking about NFTs. So I want you guys to write it down: cryptocurrency, crypto token, DeFi, NFT, Polka dot eco, okay, and BSC eco, Solana eco, and yield farming. Okay, you can write it down and maybe make notes of it. So NFTs are digital assets. For example, non-fungible tokens. That is the full form of the NFT, and that means, let's say I have a picture. Okay, that picture, I put it up on the blockchain, and I can register it on the blockchain, and now the blockchain knows, and everybody knows, that this particular artwork is owned by me. Okay, and no one else can register that NFT or that token again on that blockchain, because that particular image will be stored on the blockchain on a particular block, and it will be verified that this block with this artwork is owned by Siddhant Goyal. Okay, that is called a digital artwork. And one South Indian guy purchased one, I think you might be knowing about it, purchased one NFT for $70 million by a person called Beepool for $70 million, and he's a Bitcoin billionaire who purchased this to put this artwork. So the artwork is I think a compilation of, I think, 1,000 or 5,000 pictures. So he's going to put this in his virtual world. Okay, that is why he's bought it. It's an online world where he's going to put this NFT, and we don't know whether it'll grow, whether he's done a rubbish investment. We don't know anything about it. But NFTs, you can put anything. If you want, you can just put your own picture as NFT. You can get it registered. Usually the registration charges are around $100 to $100 to $200, and you can register any artwork. So for graphic designers and you people using illustrations and all that, the market has absolutely changed, and if they start lifting their creations on NFT platforms, they can really make a lot of money. Okay. Any doubts?
No. So you asked us to make a note of cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
DeFi, NFT.
Right.
So what was the logic for that?
Just write down what it means. Cryptocurrencies are currencies which work on demand and supply. DeFi are all decentralized finance where you can do staking, you can get returns and interest and all that.
Right.
NFT are non-fungible transactions, tokens, sorry, which are digital artwork. Okay.
So,
Right.
Siddhant, I had a question. So, for example, let's say my company creates some advertisement of some kind of artwork and they put it up on NFT, and I register it by my company's name.
Yes.
Now, in this scenario, and it's out there on the blockchain, it's visible to everyone in the network. And like, how does it work? Like, people will bid for it, and it works at the same way as we.
Either it'll work in an auction format. You invest $200 and get your NFT listed. Okay.
Okay.
After listing, let's say people will auction and buy it, or you can put a fixed price that I want to sell it for, let's say 5 Ethereums. And you
Okay, I can put it out to sell it as well. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So I will buy a NFT right in front of you. I will try to buy an NFT right in front of you. I will transfer money in an NFT wallet. Okay. So right now, and I'll show it to you. So moving on to Polkadot. So Polkadot is a platform where various blockchains are combined together to give you the best and the least transaction cost. Okay. But I would still suggest Polkadot is not the best way to go and start transacting and using it. Okay, Polkadot is trying to make a supercomputer. It is a chain which is trying to make a supercomputer by connecting all the various mining machines and all that together to reduce the transaction costs. Okay.
So is it like a marketplace for or an intersection for various platforms?
Various, it's not a marketplace, but it's like Uniswap and all that. It's like a marketplace, but it tries to use the mining machines and all that in order to reduce the transaction costs.
Okay. So so how do you, I mean, what kind of transactions would you operate on a Polkadot eco?
Anything you want to convert your Bitcoin to Ethereum, Binance Coin to Dogecoin, or anything, you can do such things. Okay, it's like a swapping portal.
And so you're saying that basically the fee structure will be lower in a Polkadot ecosystem?
Yes, but the delays and the delays and all that will not be there. It will be instant, and the transaction fees will be very less. Okay.
So why did you say that it's not the best place to do that? Because that seems like a good solution.
No, why? Because in order to get onto Polkadot, you will have to transfer your coins from Binance to Polkadot platform, and then you will have to convert it. And it's not a wallet; it's a swapping portal. So all your coins will not be stored on a Polkadot platform. Okay, so your coins will be stored in a wallet. Okay, so your transaction costs will automatically increase. People who are not using wallets can use the Polkadot platform. Okay, this can be a little intimidating, and we actually cover a lot of this in the advanced course and other details, but I'm just trying to give you a brief here so that we can understand a little bit about this. So BSC is the Binance Smart Chain, and you can transfer coins from BSC and BSC ecosystem, and you can convert your coins and chains, etc. So like Bitcoin blockchain, there is a Binance blockchain, like I showed you, BEP20. That is the BEC ecosystem. Okay. Similarly, we have Solana ecosystem, which is also there, which facilitates just transactions and transferring and reduced costs. But you will be doing it on the Solana platform. Okay.
So how do you differentiate between the three? BSC eco, Solana eco, Polkadot.
They are ecosystems and blockchains of that particular tokens. For example, BSC is owned by Binance Coin. Solana is owned by Solana. Solana is a coin itself. In here, if you see, there is a coin called Solana. Yeah, here is Solana. Okay, Solana is another coin. So these are their own particular blockchains that they have made, and which facilitate and which help you to do transactions, maybe build more applications by using these platforms. Okay, so that is the whole purpose of these categories. Okay, Yield farming is where it is somewhat similar to DeFi, and yield farming is that whenever a coin comes out, what happens? So let's say a new coin has to come out. What will happen? Someone will stake some coins in order to make that coin valuable. Okay, for example, Elon Musk bought 1.5 billion dollars worth of Bitcoin, and then in a later message or a tweet, I think he told us that 1.5 billion dollars he will change it into Tesla coins. Okay, so the backing behind that Tesla coin will be 1.5 billion dollars worth of Bitcoin. Clear, everyone?
So is he coming with a Tesla coin?
Yeah, he is planning to. In the future, he is planning to come out with a Tesla coin. Okay. And tomorrow we've got Saturday Night Live of Elon
Yeah,
Musk.
Doge.
Yeah, we don't know.
That should be fun.
Yeah, that should be fun. It can really go down also, and it can really go up also.
So are you
What is
buying
your
Doge
gut?
today? Are you buying it today? Like, are you buying Doge today?
I have a holding of Doge right now because majorly I feel that he's not going to do anything which really hampers his image and makes the coin fall down. Maybe the coin doesn't rise up very much, or it doesn't even move when he comes on SNL. But the only thing is that maybe he just avoids the topic completely of Dogecoin and nothing happens. Okay.
Because this is a speculation. Like, he's not confirmed that he'll be speaking about it. This is just a speculation, I guess.
No, it is just speculation. It's not confirmed. He has not told anywhere that he'll be talking about Dogecoin on SNL. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So these were the coins. Now let's move on. I hope now you can see this platform here. Okay. Sold out. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, Z.run.
Yeah, Z.run.
What's
So-
this?
So I will give you a brief information about this. So this is absolutely new. I never thought that I would cover this, but I am transferring coins to this particular wallet. That is why I'm showing it to you guys. I had no intention to show this to you guys or cover this in this basic cryptocurrency course. So this is a platform where you can buy horses and raise them in real life. So I think you can see here, this is one horse race that is going on. You can see here. So this is an NFT which I am purchasing. So this is a real race which is happening on NFTs. These are called breathing NFTs. Okay. This is the first concept, and we can see that dark comedy is winning up here. I hope everyone can see this. This is something
Yeah.
where it completely freaks out my mind that where the world is going. Okay. Okay. So this is the race that is 8th May, 12:30 a.m. There will be a drop, as in some horses will come out for sale. I would want to purchase one horse, and maybe I don't do anything. I will just own a horse and I maybe just put it on sale, because right now I feel this is a new thing, and on SimilarWeb I've seen the growth happening massively from 10,000 viewers in October 2020. Now it has around 4,500, 450,000 viewers and visits on its platform. Okay, so it's like an online derby. I had no intention of doing this, but I'm showing you how to transfer coins to this particular platform. Okay, so this is just that to give you a spice and how the world. So right now I have around you can see right now I have around $46 of ETH in here, Ether. Okay, everyone can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you see, I hope this is not intimidating and it's not going up.
No, very interesting. Continue. Yeah.
I want to hear this from everyone.
Yes,
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 sir.
please do.
So please,
If-
we're
if-
interested.
Yeah, if it's not interesting, we can just get out of it and maybe move on to something else. I can transfer it somewhere else. Yeah. So others, please reply. If you are liking it, then only we'll move on further.
Yes, sir. It's interesting.
Yeah, so this is my stable. It is called Beyond the Wall. Okay, whenever I buy the horses, they'll come here. Okay, a horse is a breathing NFT. That means it's got a life, and I particularly don't know how this works, but I'm just betting it like I buy a horse for, let's say, $100. So I'm transferring $400, $500 here. I will buy a horse for $100 or $150, $200. Okay, and then make that horse run in all races. I can there is a prize pool in the race, and it's completely betting. I've never done this. This is the first time I'm doing it.
But who makes them run, and how do they gain speed? What is the mechanism behind that?
That is an algorithm, and there is a bloodline and everything. So we'll not be going into that. Though I know it, I will be uploading a video, and I was trying to sell this to my brother. So very casually, I made a video. I will put it on my YouTube channel. You can see it from there, and you can understand how the coins will, why I'm betting on this. Okay. So I'm just putting in $200, and whenever I want, I can just withdraw my Ethereum balance from here itself, and that won't be a problem. Okay. So.
Okay.
This is kind of fantasy gaming. Yeah.
Yes, it is fantasy gaming, and the world is moving towards all this only in the crypto space particularly, and there is something called as metaverse. That means connecting virtual reality and the real life.
Okay. Metaverse, you call that.
The metaverse. So any doubts, anything?
No, so maybe in few years there will be a digital version of Siddhant Goyal as well.
We can actually have that right now as well. There's a website called BitCloud in which you can have a coin based on your name.
Oh, wow.
Can someone just check out the price of BCD and tell me? BCD against BTC? Can someone just find out the price on their particular mobile? I don't have it right in front of the screen right now. Can you just find it out and tell me? So I think now you guys can see two screens along with seeing me on the screen, 3 screens.
Yeah.
$6. Okay. So you can see me, you can see the mobile screen. Okay.
Yes.
And you can see behind that, you can see the Z portal and my balance of 0.013 Ethereum. Yes.
Yeah.
So now let's say I want to transfer my Ethereum from my phone to this particular wallet. What I will do is I will go on to wallets. Okay, this is the money I have here, and I will go on to ETH. Okay, I will go on to ETH, and you can see the price of ETH, and I have got it for approximately $534 right now. Okay, 0.15 Ethereum. Clearly, everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Yes. So I want to withdraw this. So I click on withdraw. Okay. What I want to withdraw, I want to withdraw ETH. And so simply what I'll do is, if I go here and on this platform, majorly, I will have to deposit. I will click on deposit. No, sorry. Top up. Okay. So this is my wallet address where I will, if I want to put in money, I can put in money. So I'll copy this and I'll send it across on my phone. And this is my address where I want to put in Ethereum or transfer Ethereum. Okay. So just a second. I want to.
What is AirDroid?
AirDroid is the app to just see my phone.
It's like AirPlay. It's like AirPlay.
Yes. Just a second, guys. Just a second. Just a second. Yes. Yeah. So now can you see the screen?
Is there a limited supply of horses over there, or they can be a number of horses?
There is a limited supply. In October, first time the horses came in, 400 horses came in. They were sold in 24 hours. Then in March, around 1,000, around 250 horses came in. They were sold in 2 hours. And now I'm trying my luck. And the maximum price that these horses have been sold till now has been $150,000. So someone had purchased a horse for around $100 and sold it for $150,000. Okay. So this is like a pure gamble that I'm doing. But it is not even a gamble because I can always sell my horses on the NFT space. Okay. Whenever I want to sell the horse, I can sell it for maybe a lesser price or a higher price. I'm just trying to do this for the first time and just put in. So I put in my address here so I can recheck it that if this address is same as this. So it should be same CA EB75CA. Okay. And if I go here, EB75CA, this is same. The network that I want to choose is ERC20. Okay, confirm. I want to transfer maximum Ethereum. You can see the transaction.
Sorry, where did you see ERP20?
ERP20 in the network section. There are 3 sections: BEP20, BEP2.
But why did you choose this and why did you not choose the other ones?
Because I'm sending Ethereum, and this platform is also asking for Ethereum. So I did my research. It told me that you need to transfer, because when I transferred $46, it told me that you need to use the ERC20 portal कि यहाँ पर आपका Ethereum शो कर जाए. ठीक है, 5 मिनट रुकते हैं, 5 मिनट के अंदर आ जाएगा. ठीक है, तब तक आगे चलते हैं स्लाइड पे, and then we'll come on to this platform. Okay, so candlesticks we've covered. You've seen the charts, basic charts. We'll moving averages. Let's go on to moving averages. So can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
ये Binance का
नहीं वो नहीं आया.
एक सेकंड. Binance portal. So here we are on Binance here, and simply going on to any coin, we can see the movements of the coin, how the coins have been fluctuating, going up and down. Okay, right now the lines here that you see, okay, the lines here that you see are 15-day moving averages, 7-day moving averages, or 99-day moving averages. Here on the top side, you can see 99-day moving averages. Okay, so this simply means that if the coin is crossing from below and going above these lines, it is bullish. Okay. So in a bigger chart, if you see, let's say I'm converting and changing it to a 1 hour candle. So so when, let's say, firstly, let's discuss about the candle here. So you can see this candle which has been made. It is a bullish candle. It is a green candle which has gone up. Okay. And this candle is bullish, and it tells us that future also the price of the coin will rise. So 1 hour candle is also bullish. This candle is also bullish, which tells us that the price of this coin can further go up. Okay. And this is the resistance where this is the first resistance that the coin sees. So whenever you are trading and see, you have to see the immediate resistance. Okay. So this is the immediate resistance. If the coin crosses above this level, it will become faster and even rise at a faster pace. This is always an assumption and expectation, but usually it works. Clear? Everyone?
Got it.
Okay. So whenever it break an earlier resistance, the coin will zoom up massively. Okay.
What's the logic for that?
The logic for that is because it had faced a resistance, and because people started selling a lot at that particular level. Now the sellers are not that powerful at that level, and they are not really willing to sell at that level. So as soon as that level breaks, we know that sellers don't really have a lot of coins to sell. Okay, if they don't have coins, they won't sell. They can't sell. Okay, that is why we expect that the coin will go up. Then a new resistance will be made. When the sellers start feeling, it is all about psychology of the sellers. When the sellers start feeling that now is a good time to book profits. Let's say sellers start feeling at 642 rupees, $642, that the coin is now at a good level and now it can face resistance, and then they'll start selling off their coins here. Okay, And this can be another level where they face resistance. Okay. So now I think now you can see the ZRAM screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now
The
you
credit is there.
yeah, the balance is here. My money has been transferred. It took, I think, around 2-3 minutes. Okay. It won't really take more time than that. And simply your money can be transferred like this from anywhere to anywhere. You don't have to worry about anything. And if your address is correct, your network is correct, your money will be transferred from anywhere to anywhere. Okay. You want to transfer your money instantaneously. You want to transfer Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin, 1000 Bitcoin, 10,000 Bitcoins, Ethereum, whatever, you can transfer it instantaneously.
And what is the network that you said was there for this transfer?
ERC20. I have told you guys to make a note also of that. ERC20, B20, BC, BEP2. So ERC20 was a platform, Ethereum platform, Ethereum network. I use the Ethereum network to transfer my Ethereums from my personal wallet of Binance to this particular wallet. So I've got $500 now here, and now if I will have to convert all of these to buy the horses into WET. I know it is a little lengthy process, so I will convert my money from Ethereum to WET to buy horses later on. Okay.
What is WAT?
WET is it is a hard fork of Ethereum, as in that means that a little change in the coding of Ethereum has been done to form a new coin that is called ETH, that is wrapped Ethereum. Okay, so the blockchains can be changed. Bitcoin also has a lot of hard forks. That means that it has been changed and tampered with, and a new blockchain has been made, which is called Bitcoin Diamond. Like I just asked, and Ria mentioned that its value is $6.8. Okay, and like Bitcoin Cash, and there are various other things, other coins which are hard forks of Ethereum, Bitcoin, and various other coins.
Okay.
Hard fork. What hard code means is that Bitcoin was running on a code and a contract. Okay, that when this happens, this will happen. When this happens, this will happen. But someone came in and thought, no, this is not a good idea. Let me change it a little bit because it is on an open platform. He changed the rule, and after changing the rule, he told that from this date onwards, I am making a new blockchain or a modified blockchain. And on that blockchain, if anybody likes my blockchain, they can start trading on my blockchain. And he gave it a separate name. Okay. So
just curious, how did it qualify to do WETH and not just ETH? Why the choice?
It was particularly their choice. The platform Z.Run, the owners and the co-founders, they must have thought that we would use WETH. This can be a marketing strategy or a gimmick, that because when I will convert my ETH to WETH, it will cost me some money. Okay, and that can be a way how they are making money. Okay, other than the races that they are running and the commissions that they are taking on the races. Okay.
Got it.
It can be completely marketing thing. They could have used Ethereum also, and earlier they were using only dollars to buy. Now, if you want to buy a horse, you will have to use WETH to buy the horses. Okay, so that is why I will have to convert it. I don't know why it has been done. Maybe there is information online why this has been done, but I don't really know why this has been done right now. Okay, so I hope you guys understood this platform. I would just tell you the class will go on for just 5 more minutes and then we'll wrap it up. If you want to trade here, what I wanted to tell you here was, let's say I want to bake. Okay, let's say we go on to bake. Okay, bake to BUSD. This is a chart of bake to BUSD, and bake has been going up. If I want to buy, I have bakes here. Okay, I've got a little bit of bake, 15 bakes in my portfolio. Sorry, 15 BUSD. If I want to sell, I can sell 116 bakes I've got in this portfolio. If I want to sell, I can simply sell it. market order, yesterday I told you, you can sell it at the current market price, and you can increase or decrease the pricing and change it here. Okay. Other than that, if you want, you can put a stop loss. So how a stop loss is put? Stop loss is a loss limiting thing. How you will put it as? Stop loss will be, let's say I have 116 bakes here, and I'm trading it against BUSD. If I want to put a sell order here, I will put a sell order of, let's say, 5.05. Okay, 5.5. 5.5. So I have put a sell order here. Please listen very carefully. I've put a stop loss here at 5.05. My limit will be the price at which my coin will be sold. So my coin or my trade stop loss will be activated when a trade happens or when the coin touches $5.5 in bake. Okay. And when my coins will be sold, it will be sold at 5.4. How many coins I want to sell? Let's say I want to sell 5 coins. Okay. I put a bid of selling. Stop loss is this, limit is this. I want to sell at 5.4. And when I put a sell order, so it is confirming here that you want to put a sell order at 5.4. Limit order is 5.4. Bake 5 bakes. Total amount will be $27 I will get if this happens. So if I confirm, it will show me your limit order has been put up. Okay. I can see on the left side here, it's an open order here. And whenever this price goes below, trigger conditions are, whenever the price goes below $5.5, my trade will be executed and my trade will get activated, not executed. It will be executed when the price further falls to $5.4. I hope I was absolutely clear.
I am not 100% sure I understand the stop wala funda. So you put a limit. Limit is basically saying that 5.54 पे मेरा बिकना चाहिए, right?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
And stop is to say that अगर 5.5 पे गया, then what?
5.5 पे अभी तो देखो ऊपर है, 6.31 पे है ना?
हाँ.
तो 6.31 से 5.5 पे जब आएगा तब मेरा ऑर्डर एक्टिवेट होएगा 5.4 पे बिकने का.
Why would I want to sell it at a lower? नहीं, I'm not able to understand. अगर अभी price 6.3 है, अगर अभी price 6.3 है, so why am I trying to sell it at 5.5? What is the point?
Here the point is that in case you are seeing and you are analyzing, let's say it has a resistance here. Okay, let's say you see that there is a resistance at 5.5. Okay.
Oh, you are saying कि अगर 5 point ये activate तभी होगा when it reaches at 5.5.
Yes. So
that means that before it goes down much below that, it should sell at that point.
Yes. So in case it keeps on falling down and nose dives to, let's say, $2. Okay.
So ये 5.4 पे आपका सारा सौदा निकल जाएगा.
सारा सौदा निकल जाएगा. आप 5.4 पे बाहर हो जाओगे. वो कितना भी गिरते रहे, आप तो बाहर हो गए. आपने BUSD खरीद लिया. That is a stable currency, and after buying that, you will be out of the market and you will not face any more loss.
Got it. That's very interesting. I never knew this.
Yes. So this is a
so there could be currency that is currently at $10 hypothetically, and you know कि ये exceptionally जा रही है ऊपर, and you say that let me protect my margin. मैं 5 पे खरीदा था, 7 पे जब भी आए तो I want to book that profit. I'd let it fall beyond that, and then I'll buy again.
Yes. Then in that case, अगर मान लो 5 पे खरीदा था, you will put a limit order. Let's say 5 पे खरीदा था, अगर मैं limit order लगाता हूँ, मैंने 5 पे खरीदा था और मैं इसको 7 पे बेचना चाहता हूँ. I want to sell it at, let's say, $7. Okay, how many bakes I want to sell it at? I want to sell 13 bakes. Okay, I want to sell 13 bakes at $7. So I will put sell bakes at $13. Okay.
नहीं. Limit क्यों लगेगा? लेकिन अभी तो क्योंकि price is already 10, so why would I put the limit order at 7?
No. I'm talking about bake only. Right now the price.
अच्छा. I was talking about the example that I was giving. I was not talking about. Okay.
I'm talking about bake.
Okay.
अभी bake चल रहा है 6.23. Okay.
Right.
यहाँ पर सेल लगा दिया है कि अगर 7 रुपए चले जाए तो मेरी प्रॉफिट बुकिंग हो जाए क्योंकि मैंने नीचे खरीद रखा है. ठीक है.
लिमिट वाला फंडा तो समझ आ गया. लिमिट वाला फंडा इज इजियर. ये स्टॉप लिमिट वाला वाज इंटरेस्टिंग.
स्टॉप लिमिट इज कि आपने लिमिट लगा दिया स्टॉप के लिए. ओके. सो
कि इससे नीचे फॉल नहीं हो प्राइस, इस प्राइस पे आते ही मेरा ऑर्डर ट्रिगर हो जाए,
दिख जाए. हाँ. So one thing now, so since 2016 I've taught a lot of students. I have done some international level courses and all, okay, for training people and teaching people, which has really helped me, and like trained the trainer from one of the best peoples in the world, T. Harvecker, and I've paid a hell lot of money for that. And so there will be some activities from today's session in today, tomorrow, and day after. So firstly, I would want you guys to slap one thing on your hand and embed it. Okay, that means you will take your hand and slap it out. Okay, that means so that this is majorly why we are doing this, is because when you slap it out, it gets registered even more and you will be able to remember this. So all those students who have done my class earlier, do you remember that I did that coin wala thing or a 100 rupee thing? Do you remember it?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember I did that thing?
I don't remember it exactly, but yes, somehow I can recall something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would want you guys to just fold up your sleeve, take your hand and slap out. I want to really hear it. Slap out that never make trades which make you not, which disturb your sleep. Okay. So take your hand. I am not kidding. Take your hand, slap it out that never make trades that disturb your sleep. Write it down firstly and then slap it out on your hand like this, that never make trades that disturb your sleep. Okay. So everyone, please do it. Take your hand, slap it out, and make sure that there is a red mark on your hand. Make sure that there is a red mark on your hand. I'm not kidding. These are very important strategies. These are very important things. I have learned this over trading over tens of years, and I know these strategies work, and they are psychological things which will help you do good trades and keep your mind in the correct space, because trading is all about psychology. And I want everyone to slap it out on their hands that never make trades that disturb your sleep, and write it down on
Done.
Write it down in the chat and click a picture of it, and you will have to share this picture with me on the WhatsApp group that I'll make. Okay, or maybe you can email it. Okay, slap it out. Yes, I can hear that. Yes, thank you so much.
I did
Slap
that.
it out. Yes, I know. Sarthak, तेरे को भी पता होगा. You have done some trades which could have disturbed your sleep. Okay. किया है कि नहीं किया?
आज भी करती हैं.
हाँ?
आज भी करती हैं.
आज भी करती है ना. मैं जानता हूँ अच्छे से. मैं कभी नहीं चाहता ये किसी के साथ भी हो. मैं हर चीज, हर ऊपर नीचे सब चीजें देख चुका हूँ स्टॉक मार्केट्स में. मतलब you can't even imagine the kind of losses I've made, the kind of profits I've made in crypto, in stock markets. You can't even imagine that kind of level that I've done. Okay, within 5 minutes, 2 minutes, what kind of fluctuations I've seen and done. Okay, so that is why I'm telling you these trading rules. From today onwards, we will be talking about these trading rules, and these are the most important rules that you need to understand. Okay, others also please mention it in the chat that you've done it. I want a picture of this. I want a red mark. Never make a trade that will disturb your sleep. Urvika, done. Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please click a picture right now. My hand is also red and I have already done it. And these are very important strategies. If you think this is foolish, no problem. Think about it, but you have to do it. Okay. Done. Agam, done. Very good. Done. There will be other things that will embed it in our system, in our body, and this is very important. Okay. So another rule, it's a very popular rule. What usually happens is people start holding their losses and they don't really hold their profits. So you need to start holding your profits and not your losses. So the next rule by Warren Buffett, which is absolutely true and very important, is never make a loss. First rule. Second rule, never
Forget the second rule.
Yes.
Forget the first rule.
Yes.
No.
Yes. So this is also a very important thing. because when your capital erodes from, let's say, 100 to 90, then you have to really work up 11% or 11.5% to increase it. So never make a loss. Leaving an opportunity is no problem, but don't make a loss. Okay, this is another rule. Maybe you can write it down. I don't know whether you've seen it or not, but I write here on my Almera, I've written down some rules, like no negotiations and some other rules which I've written down. So these are very important things. These are things that you need to do in order to be successful as a trader, as an investor, as a person who wants to grow and discipline your life. Okay. So any doubts?
So your this horse trading thing is going to happen, open up at 12:30?
Yes, horse trading thing will happen around 12:30. This is the first time I'm doing this, and let's see what's going to happen. It's a $500.
No, good luck to you. We'll be backing your horse. Not to worry.
Yes, I will be buying a horse, and maybe because it is very convenient for me to sell the horse also. If I want to sell it off, I'll sell it off immediately. I'll put it on an NFT platform where I can bid and I can sell it off. So it's not something that
So
will go and drain. Yeah.
So you need to go to z.run and register and create an account. What do you need to do?
Yes. You need to go on the z.run and register and create it.
You seem pretty excited about it. Looks like you have a gut feeling that you can make a lot of money on this.
Yes, I am excited about it. Maybe not right now because it is like a long-term investment that I'm doing. I'm buying the horse right now, but as and when if I want to race, I will race because racing also helps, and the races are for like 1 minute or 30 seconds or like that. So I will race, and eventually I'm doing this for long term. After 1 year, I will be able to maybe make money out of it and maybe sell my horse at a better level. So I will be uploading that video and sharing the link with you. And if you're interested, you can see that. It will be on my YouTube channel as an unlisted video. And I will be sharing the link tomorrow along with the link of this video recording. And that's about it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed.